Several shots fired into 3 homes just a few miles apart overnight, and now police are trying to track down who's responsible. News Channel 5's Deja Knight's been following the latest from the North Precinct. And Deja, we understood in the beginning there were 2 homes, and you've learned within the last half hour there were actually 3 homes hit with bullets.
Yeah, that's right. The last one that we learned about is in East Nashville on Seymour Avenue. A man says he was asleep in his home when someone fired 3 shots into his house. Officers say that they didn't find any shell casings on the scene. The man inside, he didn't get a chance to look and see who it was that was firing those shots. And then that happened around 1:30. Around the exact same time in North Nashville, 2 other homes were being shot at. Take a look at this video. This one happened on Chesapeake Drive. There were 2 adults and 8 children inside, ranging in ages from infant to 9 years old when the shooting took place. Police say that they found 7 bullet holes in that home. Then just 2 miles away, around the same time on Moorwood Drive, there were 4 adults in a home, and officers found 3 bullet holes outside of that home. So definitely a big shooting spree going on around Nashville last night. Scary situation because, well, 1, obviously people were inside those homes, and 2, officers, they don't have any suspects in mind. Since it was late, no one saw any of this occur. So if you happen to know anything about any 3 of these shootings, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers at 74-CRIME. We're live at the Madison Precinct. Deja Knight, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Deja, thank you. We're waiting for more details about a house fire in Mount Juliet. Fire crews were called back to a home on Clark Drive for the 2nd time around 3 o'clock after flames rekindled. We're told the home first caught fire around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It's not clear if anyone was hurt during the fire, but no one was home when it caught fire the 2nd time this morning. New this morning, a Kentucky man is in the hospital after wrecking his motorcycle during last night's storms. The victim told officers he was distracted by a bolt of lightning when he crashed on Elmo Road in Oak Grove. He was taken to the hospital with a possible broken shoulder. A passenger also on the bike was not hurt. A barn fire in Columbia has killed several Tennessee walking horses. Murray County firefighters battled intense flames at a farm on Old Lewisburg Highway yesterday. No one was hurt, but 5 horses did not make it out. Investigators are looking into how that fire started. We're learning more about a deadly plane crash in Decatur County yesterday. It happened in the Bible Hill community just outside Parsons. Investigators say a crop duster went down in a field, killing the pilot. The person's name has not been released, but the FAA is investigating. And the woman accused of stealing a police cruiser and causing a deadly crash has pleaded guilty. Misty Shelton had just been arrested for shoplifting in Fayetteville last August when she sped off in the officer's car and crashed into an SUV. 1 man died and 4 others were hurt. Yesterday, Shelton pleaded guilty to all 14 counts against her, including vehicular homicide and DUI. She was sentenced to 25 years in prison. 2 men accused in 2 violent robberies on Tuesday are now behind bars. Turner Goodwin and Ronald Davis are accused of robbing 3 people at gunpoint outside Santa's Pub on Bransford Avenue and then beating a delivery driver on Wedgwood with a baseball bat before taking off with his cell phone, cash, and the food. Officers pulled them over downtown and arrested them, and both are being held on a $250,000 bond. The future of the Cordell Hall building will be a big talker at a public meeting this morning. News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley live outside the Capitol with details. And Cuthbert, some folks want to tear this building down because they say the mold is just too expensive to repair.
That's what the Haslam administration is saying, Amy. They had hired a consultant group to find out exactly how much those repairs would cost. That study showed that it was going to cost about $40 million. So they recommended tearing down the building instead of making those repairs. But just recently, a new study, as a result of the News Channel 5 investigation, actually showed that the cost of those repairs would be much less. We're talking $3 million, close to that number, instead of the $40 million price tag. So this morning at this public meeting, that's when they're going to start going through exactly what that second study showed. That lower price tag is really good news for historic preservationists who really want to keep this building here. They say getting rid of it, demolishing the building really could change the historical nature of this area around the Capitol this morning. So again, we're expected to hear a lot more about the ins and the outs of that second study and exactly what they have in mind instead of tearing down the building. If you want to attend that meeting, it is a public meeting, so you can go. It's open at 10 o'clock today in the Legislative Plaza in room 30. So again, they're really going to dive a little bit more into detail as a result of that second study to see exactly what the best route there is in terms of handling the repairs here at the building. Of course, we'll have much more on this story, both on air and online there at newschannel5.com. Reporting live near the Capitol this morning, I'm Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
Cuthbert, thank you. A teenager's in big trouble after bringing a loaded gun to school. Students at Warren County High tipped off police they found a .22 caliber gun in the student's locker. It was fully loaded. The student was arrested, but the name has not yet been released. And what looked like an armed home invasion in Murfreesboro turned out to be a college prank. A neighbor called 911 when he saw a group of masked men with guns starting to shoot into an apartment. But it turns out it was a group of MTSU athletes with airsoft guns pulling a prank. But the neighbor wasn't laughing.
We have kids here. There's other kids that live here, Dylan and them. That's not a prank that you play on someone.
Responding officers at night in the dark, it's very difficult to tell them apart, especially when you add to that the addition of a ski mask.
A spokesperson for MTSU's athletic department tells us it was all done in good fun and the players are not facing any charges. A memorial service will be held today for the tanker truck driver killed last week in Williamson County. Bobby Bobo died after his rig crashed into the Paytonsville Road overpass last Friday. He was a driver for Edwards Oil for nearly 40 years and was looking forward to his retirement. The service will be held at the Heritage Funeral Home in Columbia. Visitation begins at 4 o'clock and the service is at 7.